That hurt like a motherfucker, Sam.
Yeah.
Shit.
It was a heavy shit.
Mainly because it's like it was so pointless.
Well, yeah.
Like, and I don't mean that as a bad way to the game. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, that was pointless content. What I'm saying is like, you get in there and you're like, this isn't gonna. There's nothing to do here. We're just gonna be in pain. This is just gonna hurt Harry.
Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois.
Swallow the blood. Spit out the blood and get back to work. You're a badass like that.
Any of these would be fine.
Okay.
Well, except maybe two.
Still worried. You must have really thrashed and squealed in your sleep.
Alright.
Hey, that was so cool. Oh my god.
Old spring. Yes.
No more sleep. No more sleep. No more sleep.
No more sleep.
No more sleep. Holy shit.
Books.
Not for me.
Sift through this. Them.
Are soft covers, serialized, fantastique.
Alright.
Depictions among what is mostly commercial
Magazine, electrical engineering.
Made themselves a home.
Anything stand out? Heroic. What the hell? I don't have good conceptualization, do I? Huh? I should put something into it.
Not put anything into it.
Yeah. I have like two things I can do, I think, for conceptualization.
I do think you have clothes for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have so many clothes. I better. There's a shirt for it. There's a. Oh wait, I didn't put on the shirt. There. Needed that.
What stats do your clothes give you, Danny?
Well, what I'm wearing right now, I'd say I have like +1 to comfort, maybe. You know.
I was gonna make the same joke. I have +2 to sleepy.
I think I have like +2 to misplaced confidence.
But +1 to drama.
I do have a +1 to drama.
Soft covers, serialized, fantastic.
All right.
Not that you can tell. This is a digest of someone who's dead bored.
Nothing.
Most of it is for
Nothing out of the ordinary.
Maybe it's a little old-fashioned. There's a nude mag. More than that, you can't say. The print in some of these is pretty small, though.
Person has good eyesight, huh? Okay. Like a sniper.
You would expect that of one, yeah.
Yeah. Frick. The fuel tank coming back was cool.
Yeah.
Or at least I think that's what allowed us to do that. That's my theory. Game.
There's a lot of smoke. There's a lot of Chekhov's guns. This here game.
All right, let's put one into conceptualization. Come on, baby. Give me the goo.
Covers, serialized, fantastique. Oh yes.
Oh, thank God.
A rather extensive collection of critical theory. That is, dour, life non-affirming left-wing literature, published by small imprints such as Abattoir Firm and Ouzia. It's not exactly
Powerful communist theory, rigorous and truthful.
Look, him, a book. Left wing. I have no comments. Do you?
Ouzia. Humanitarian sciences. Stands out. Not a lot of critical theory around in Ravachol West anymore.
your incendiary remark has failed to provoke him. There's some in the communist student's room.
Student in the apartment building seemed to have some as well.
Well, yes. That one student did.
The little books seem inconsequential next to the big pile of frivolous...
What do you think this
entertainment
means?
Whoever has lived here, they have some education and a certain set of interests.
Interesting.
Okay.
Soft covers.
Oh, the chair's part of it. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Oh, what is this? +2 empathy. Whoa. Are you giving this to me now? Whoa, what's up there? Oh, that's an exit. Morale. Money and morale. This is incredible.
You see a small metal door nested inside a larger one. A heavy steel blast door. There is a conventional...
What's on the other side?
The handle.
Another part of the island, probably. The lock looks like it could still be usable.
How do we open this?
Maybe this is one of the doors we don't open?
He's right. It would be better to open its big brother. A powerful engine hangs under the ceiling. It must control the blast door.
Do you see controls anywhere?
I think there's a console just southeast. Let's look around. Getting the blast door open seems like the best plan.
Alright. Careful, these stairs have collapsed. I noticed.
Green paint flecks off the monoblock.
Run fingers!
The keys rattle like teeth. This keyboard hasn't been functional in decades.
What is it then?
The console of an antique computation device. The generator upstairs, with wires coming out. They terminate here.
Will this open the blast door?
I think, yes. Let's see.
Turn emergency open.
The blast door opens with a series of clicks. A shaft of light appears, then widens as the light shines in.
Wonderful. Of course, it being 10 p.m., I'm surprised there's still... Oh, I guess that light might be from inside.
Could be artificial, you know.
You.
What's there?
I don't know.
Well, we into another fight.
Don't worry. I have a gun.
Okay. I don't have a gun.
Extra good that I do.
A dim golden
It's on.
automatic boot.
Lights.
The lighting in the room turns on with a sizzle. A dim ambient
Radio dial.
dial slides under the glass.
Nothing? Cool. Hatch is jammed shut. What's out here? Besides my ex-wife sometimes when I dream. But that might not be relevant.
That might not be related to the case, actually.
Sorry, Kim. Never mind.
Lieutenant, strike that from the record.
There's nothing to be said about my ex-wife. The reeds sway strangely. No, it's nothing. Ice cracks under your feet. Be careful not to slip through. What if I did? Wouldn't that be fun? Let's save.
No.
You're right. Probably wouldn't be all too fun. Maybe a little bit fun, though. Pain in your pelvis makes you wince, then you continue. Ooh, I'm getting a call. One moment, Sam. Entertain.
I guess I better entertain. Seems today that all that you see is violence in movies and sex on TV. But where are those good old-fashioned values on which we used to rely? Lucky there's a Family Guy. Lucky there's a man who positively can do all the things that make us laugh and cry. He's a Family Guy. Bum bum. Now what? Mom, my lips are too thin. Can I please get collagen injections? Meg, you don't need to change the way you look. You know, most of the world's problems stem from poor self-image. Excellent. The mind control device is nearing completion. Stewie, I said no toys at the table. Damn you, vile woman. You've impeded my work since the day I escaped from your wretched womb. Don't pout, honey. When you were born, the doctor said you were the happiest looking baby he'd ever seen. But of course, that was my victory day, the fruition of my deeply laid plans to escape from that accursed ovarian Bastille. Return the device, woman. No toys, Stewie. Very well then, mark my words, when you least expect it, your uppance will come. Mom, can I turn the heat up? Don't touch the thermostat, Meg. Your father gets upset. Come on, this thing goes up to 90. Who touched the thermostat? God, how does he always know? Brain implant, Meg. Every father's got one. Tells you when the kids mess with the dial. My thing went off. Your thermostat okay? Yeah, it's alright. Is my kid over here? Forget it, false alarm. Ass ahoy. Peter, it's 7 o'clock and you've still got your pants on. What's the occasion? He's going to a stag party. Lois, I work hard all week to provide for this family. I am the man of the house. As the man, I order you to give me permission to go to this party. Look, at least promise me you won't drink. Alcohol always leads to trouble. Come on, you're worrying about nothing. Remember when you got drunk on the communion wine at church? And so the Lord God smote poor Job, with festering boils all over his body. Man, I hate it when he tells this story. Yet miraculously, Job was able to remain his dignity. Is that really the blood of Christ? Yes. Man, that guy must have been wasted 24 hours a day.
What are you talking about?
I'm reading the first Family Guy episode.
What?
You told me to entertain the people.
And that's how Samantha interpreted it?
Well, I started singing the theme song, and then I thought to myself, you know, it would be really funny.
Of course. Comedy. I'm rustling through a drawer. I need I don't know. Something in this drawer. Something in this drawer can cure my ails.
I see.
Don't you think? Maybe. Hey, maybe. Maybe's a good word.
Ah.
Alright.
I've really bed now.
We're back now.
That's crazy.
Both me and comedy.
That's me.
A strange
Comedy.
feeling looking at the water. Maybe you should just wander off into the sea.
But it's cold.
Yes, cold and still. But love is warm.
No.
No.
Yes. No. We're not starting with that. Not now. Not this time. This thought is over. In the still mirror of the pilots and posts, like
Why?
perhaps where it has always been, smelling of tutti frutti and betrayal.
No.
Fuck off, thoughts in my brain. Stop thinking about my ex-wife.
It's probably a
There you
little
go.
bit of our own fault that we're thinking about our ex-wife. We've created these thoughts to help externalize our thought process. Depot that supplied this chain is long gone from the coast.
There's a rain-soaked mattress on a concrete slab, only half covered by the crumbling roof. At the head of it, double embrasures, firing slits like two eyes in the wall.
B triple prime. This looks like a good place to shoot from.
Inspect the mattress.
A single-person mattress, modern, civilian use. Brand and name, Marjorie. And an empty can of beans on the ground next to it, filled to the brim with cigarette butts.
Pick one up.
The silhouette of a tobacco picker adorns the paper filter. The brand, Dio Mortieri.
Like the ones we found at Land's End.
I may have been wrong when I said it wasn't important. This means the same person could have visited both locations. I didn't see any signs of smoking inside, though. If people live there, they keep it tidy. This here may also be a smoking spot.
Inspect the wall.
There's a firing slit in the wall in front of you, like a little window.
Touch the concrete.
Old and grimy from years without cleaning by anything other
Look
than
through the
rain.
hole.
The springs screech as you lean on the mattress and crane your neck to look out. Trepidation, a tingling feeling in your stomach.
Mine too, and then I'm tired.
Today's coastline opens
Ooh.
up in the square in front of you, like a tiny landscape painting. 1 kilometer across the water. The ruins look familiar.
On the left.
A towering skyscraper, its top floors shaved off by artillery fire. Capeside apartments. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 33
On the right.
and 33B. The red chimney and collapsed back of the 4-story tenement in front of the whirling in rags. Rue de Saint-Gislain, 10. The doomed commercial area.
And between the two.
The box-shaped silhouette of the whirling in rags. Its sloped roof, a tiny fleck of light catches your eye on the rooftop. Sunlight reflected off the upstairs window.
Motherfucker.
Downstairs room.
Just drop my
Does that
phone.
mean- Do you have line of sight to the window?
More than that.
Okay, and with a pair of binoculars, I would be able to see inside the room.
A pair of binoculars? Or a scope of a rifle? You'd be prone, lying on a mattress, barrel resting on the embrasure.
Cheek against the cheek rest. Hand on the hair trigger. On a calm day like this.
I don't want to boast. Kim, I can make it. I can make the shot.
I think we have it, detective. The origin of the shot. This is the sniper's nest.
Affirmative.
Better late than never.
Nothing pointed here. Many leads pointed elsewhere.
6 people are dead. We could have prevented it. Well, you're right. Better to be positive. Better to be positive.
He looks north, over the fortification. Then at the mattress. Then again, his face twitches. He's conflicted for a second. There's guilt there. It takes him a moment to rationalize it away.
Could the shooter still be here?
Where?
In Martinet?
On this
I
island.
had always assumed it's someone local. We should move now.
Oh, we were supposed to use this fuel canister. That's
Oh,
funny.
let's save. We did it saves time, you know. We could have used that fuel canister, but it said.
You feel your eyes on your back. Someone's watching you, but you can't say from where.
Oh God!
It's moments like these, Kim. I wish I had a gun.
I'm tensing up.
I should probably take away my conceptualization gear. That might not be the most useful thing in the world.
Yeah. Reasonable.
Put on a raincoat.
A raincoat. Oh, for the endurance.
In case I have to fight someone. And, what should I wear under it? I could do logic. I could go pain threshold volition.
Minus to empathy, but
Logic has done us well, I guess.
yeah,
I mean, I really could go with just our normal kit.
I would say that's fine personally. I mean, you don't really know what you're
I have
approaching.
enough
anyway.
healing stuff for endurance. If it ends
God,
up
I'm
being a problem.
waiting to get like jump scared.
Water rushes below.
Like I'm watching like the edges of the screen. Like we're gonna walk into the wrong fucking hallway, and someone's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
you're
"All
gonna
right,
start seeing like critters, like creeping.
Cla-
What's back here? A water dinghy, deflated, broken. Small white flowers bloom all around you.
okay." That's upstairs, yeah.
Alright, nothing here. Alright, what was the point? Whoa, there's
Oh.
a dude. It's just dude.
An old man wearing tracksuit trousers leans on the frame stock of his rifle. He gathers a big ball of spit in his mouth,
The deserter.
then spits it out into the extinguished fire before him. He raises his black eyes, hooded by creased eyelids, to meet yours, unclouded by cataracts. His eyesight is sharp. He's practically tearing up from spite. Hatred got the best of him a long time ago. This man hates everything.
You've retained your eyesight.
You've retained your eyesight.
My eyesight? Yes. Helps me see all the shit.
Are you the fire guy?
The what now?
Did you recently tell 2 kids
I
to
can't
put out
hear
their
you.
fire? 2 twins.
I may have. All sorts of little rats have come sniffing around, trying to give up the position.
The position sounds like a hiding place.
Fire guy. Regressive bourgeoisie henchman. Can't even talk like a grown-up.
Communism.
Yeah, maybe.
Would you close the blast door?
I did. And you opened it. How?
How'd you know I was coming?
Reactionary rock and roll music. Playing on the water.
Okay, that's
I
fair.
told you we shouldn't play sad FM.
You didn't say that, Kim.
I did.
We have entered a world where he said you shouldn't. It is the only world.
The fascists were right about rock and roll. It is degenerate, hip gyrating, mental illness music.
Nice gun you got there.
It's not nice. It's a piece of shit. But it gets the job done.
Is that Bell McGrath?
It's a Triangong 446.
Southeast Samaran made, exotic, must be defunct too. No modern rifle manufacturer of that name springs to mind.
A Samaran rifle. How did you get hold of one?
It was sent to us by our brothers in the Sinyao commune. Military aid.
It has stayed true to him. He can still make it sing.
The Sing How commune? Yeah.
You heard me. It's good now. Like chalk, white from the board.
Sir, I need you to put that gun down so we can talk further. With the police.
Yeah.
You can keep the gun, but keep it down. No one move. Not one move. With the police.
The lieutenant pulls his pistol from the holster.
You are a glorified night watchman. This is a service rifle. I can only lay it down before an enemy commander of corresponding rank.
I am an enemy commander of rank.
The words,
Yes!
I am an enemy commander, sound cold as iron from your lungs. The old man still hugs his gun.
And what rank would that be? Dog.
Lieutenant W. Raider. I can.
Lieutenant W. Freighter.
A big wheel of the 4th Regiment of the Pederast Army. To hell with it. It's a walking stick anyway. It's out of bullets.
His gaze follows your motions. The rifle feels surprisingly light in your hand. Frame stocked and patched in places with tape and wire. Still warm from his parched hands. Not the metal. The metal is ice cold. This weapon has been modified several times.
Inspect it closer.
The rifle's in a shabby state, like a crutch that saves you much travel. Hieroglyphs are embossed into the forearm, made of walnut. On the butt, you see Vespertine writing, burned into the wood.
It's as he said.
Triangong, 4.46 millimeter.
Triangong.
In Sinyao.
Made in Singyao.
No one said it has to be a Belmagrave. We were just guessing.
From ballistics, it could easily have been a Triangong.
It doesn't matter if it was made in Shanti Shanti. All it has to do is use jacketed ammunition. And it does.
This uses jacketed ammunition,
The
446.
right type and the right calibre.
He's liking this.
The rifle has been patched and modified several times.
I wonder how old it is.
The old man does not answer. The old man keeps following your motion with his gaze. His right arm twitches suddenly. This looked very much like the murder weapon. It could be used against him to get a confession. In time.
Who are you?
My name is Josef Lilianovich Dross, Political Commissar of the 114th Anti-Aircraft Division of the 4th Army of the Commune of Revachol. I am a deserter, a partisan, and a prisoner of war. This is my termless surrender.
The Commune of Revachol? Do you mean DICM? You're a holdover from the...
From the Insular Indian Citizens Militia, the army of the revolution. I was recruited in Jamrock in '07, trained in the École de Contrôle Orient, and consigned to emergency defense duties in '08. I left my unit on the eve of the landing. When I returned here on May 14th, the commune had fallen. Still armed and ideologically trained, I wrote a criticism of myself and resumed partisan duties.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
You've been on this island for 43 years?
No. I've been on other islands, too. I was in Resurrection until they turned it into a spa in 18. Then I was on E48, a nameless sound, until the sea washed over it. Then I came back here. That was...
And you've been hiding here for 43 years?
43 years and 10 months.
That's the length of my entire life.
It's too long. It's not how a human being should live. But I couldn't just forget what I saw.
What have you been doing during all this time?
Hiding, fishing, waiting.
2 police officers step out of the Whirling in Rags cafeteria. Satellite officer Jean-Vic Mayer inspects giant letters across the plaza mosaic in dark red government marked heavy fuel oil. Patrol officer Judith Minot points west. The fishing village. She glances at her watch. We meet in 15 minutes. It's a 10-minute walk. The officers go, leaving behind the writing, still smelling of petroleum. One day, it says, I will return to your side.
Always waiting.
For what?
For her to return.
Her who?
Girl, child, revolution.
I mean, they are. That's what the union's doing, right? Would we categorize that
Not
as...
exactly.
Not exactly, I guess. I mean, yeah, I don't think a full war revolution's happening. Come from there, I can assure you that's not what the people are planning.
I am not a fool. I know. The material base for an uprising has eroded. The working class has betrayed mankind. The historic opportunity for a revolution has passed. It will not come back anymore, however hard I try, whatever I do.
Said you deserted your unit.
I was just 16 years old, 15 when I volunteered. I had a lapse of faith. And of courage, too.
Lapse of faith.
You could say I misunderstood the historic role of the proletariat and thought Mazovian socioeconomics were fallible. For a second, I doubted the irreducible laws of historic materialism. A second is all it took
For what?
for reaction to take hold.
What's reaction?
Petty bourgeois terror. It's in all men.
And when was this exactly?
May the 13th, 08, 44 years ago. The horizon was black with coalition airships. Their petroleum rose to the sky, and it looked like it formed the clouds. Storm clouds. When they started shelling, it was dark magic.
Dark magic?
The combined might of international capital. All at once, all the greed and terror in the world tore into Revachol. It lifted streets from the ground and turned houses into ghosts. We were in the flak tower, huddled on the floor. The artillery was 80 kilometers away in Ozon, but I knew the commune would fall. We would all be turned into ash. So I said I was going to the map room.
A terrible shame, still within him. The lobes of his ears are red with it. The shame and smallness of what he became.
You didn't go to the map room.
No. I climbed the chain link across the water and hid inland, in the bunkers there, like the weakest of the weak. A mouse, frightened at the ordnance all night, and the sound of the rotors in the morning, whirring.
What was that?
Airships. I climbed out into hell. The landing was complete. The chain was submerged. I had to swim back. The fortress was half submerged too. Shattered. They'd all drowned in the lower levels or got torn to shreds above. The anti-aircraft gun had malfunctioned. So had I. I left them without ideological direction. It was real. I'd seen it. I'd seen it in reality.
Seen what?
The mask of humanity fall from capital. It has to take it off to kill everyone, everything you love, all the hope and tenderness in the world. It has to take it off just for 1 second to do the deed. And then you see it, as it strangles and beats your friends to death. The sweetest, most courageous people in the world. You see the fear and power in its eyes. Then you know.
Know what?
That the bourgeois are not human. I had to fight it. I had to never stop.
What is this place?
It's not an island, Dwat. It's a defensive fortification of the commune of Revachol. And I am its last surviving defender.
What was it used
The
for?
congenitally deformed King Philip II built it to restrict access to the Bay of Revachol. We captured it in '02, retrofitted the fort with an AA gun to defend against an airborne landing. Against the whole world.
You mean the landing, retaking of Revachol?
Coalition military called it Operation Deathblow. I later found out on the radio they called it Deathblow. You're one of them. Tell me, who speaks like that? We had 50 million people on Caillou alone.
I'm not one of them. Murderers, I know what you mean.
You don't know. You haven't seen it. Iblis,
Iblis,
the black-eyed angel.
have you survived all this time?
How does anyone survive? I steal
What do you steal?
supplies, vegetables. I collect rainwater. It's the life of a dog, not a human being.
How is your health, Mr. Dross?
I've been throwing up blood since winter. Red, like beetroot. Been passing it in stool, too.
He does seem frail. Gaunt for his age. More like 75 than 65. Trouble putting on weight could mean cancer.
TRCM can provide medical services. You need to be looked over.
I need to die. You don't have medical facilities. You have guns. That's all they give you. Toy guns.
Have you cope mentally?
I haven't. I have holes in my brain. Years missing. Others filled with pain only. A decade of... I don't even know what. Inferno?
I also live in hell.
You notice the lieutenant is going to say something.
Yeah.
I would imagine it gets tremendously difficult mentally to live in isolation.
Traitors. It's better alone. I watch the people of this city turn the lights back on more and more each year. Ruins glimmering in the dark like a fucking merry-go-round. It's disgusting.
Are they not heartbroken? How could they have moved on?
How have you concealed yourself all these years?
It was hard in the tens. I didn't have partisan training. They were searching for stragglers, those bloodhounds. Floodlights on the water at night.
There were posters, campaigns.
We communards still hoped, and they needed to snuff that hope out. The East capitulated. Martinez and Cold City were turned to dust. But Jamrock, Forburg, even Coron, and Boogie Street, of course. Those fucking kips had Marsov coursing through their veins. And others too. Some cordons of Revachol was still fighting. There were cells. I tried to contact them. Soon they all went silent. The frequency's dead.
How'd you get between here and the mainland?
At night, I used a dinghy. I only went after dark then. When I got to the city, I stayed underground. Patrols, you lot, the commons too. They'd started snitching.
In the city, you move underground?
From bunker to bunker. Not anymore. No one cares now. I don't even have to hide. They think I'm another antisocial vagrant. I could walk straight into that town if I wanted. I just...
Why don't you just walk there?
I don't want to. They're all traitors. Pigs, rabbits, and dogs. Men without ideals are only animals.
He does not want to see life moving on. People forgetting, drinking, laughing.
The weapons cache under Saint Gisselin 22B. In the basement. Gisselin. In the basement. Have you been there?
So you finally found it. There must have been a small squadron's worth of arms in there. Elmer Graves, right?
They were.
Useless now. Rusted away.
So you've been there?
Sleeping. Some nights. Ammo scrounging on others. Those McGraves were shit, even before they corroded. Some had bullets in the chamber, however.
You feel the dots connecting. Little dots on the map he's walked across.
There's a small bunker under the Feld building. Have you stayed there?
The propaganda bunker. I used to, but not anymore.
Propaganda bunker?
They stored leaflets there. Broadcasting equipment, too. Made broadcasts, I think. Propaganda officers. I buried them with their leaflets. They killed themselves. 2 young boys.
What? They killed themselves?
A lot of our boys did. I spent some winters there. Never liked it. Kept thinking of them. No need to go underground anymore. It's better in the ruins, on the ground.
One more question. Do you smoke
Those
Tiomoteri cigarettes?
I do.
Or smoke them on the mainland?
They're good. Plenty of tar. I like that boy on the pack, too. Reminds me of the last century.
Tell me another thing.
An old man looks inland at the city, the ruins, the motorways rising above it, the new bâtiment twinkling in the evening sky.
You said this is your termless surrender.
You're with the RCM, the coalition-appointed mob that enforces bourgeois morals in Revachol. A so-called Lieutenant W. Freighter.
Like 1 or 5, right?
I was thinking the same thing.
Well, I think, in all reality, I think you and I usually are on the same page.
I guess so.
We're with the RCM. Let's leave it at that.
Let's. You represent the Moralist International, the enemies of humanity who took this city. I represent their adversary, the Parti Communiste dans le Monde. Take me to them as a prisoner of war. I have relinquished my weapon. I can no longer serve. No superiors can relieve me of my duty. You bulldoze them all to a mass grave for trying to free humanity.
A spray of blood from his mouth on the black charcoal in the fire pit. Rene, the royalist on the coast, said,
The Communards signed the Revacholian Instrument of Surrender.
Liberal reactionaries signed that instrument. Traitors who should have been burned alive. I answer to the Communist Party.
Is that part of why you've been here all this time? Because the party didn't surrender?
he just wipes the blood from his chin.
Understood.
I don't think you did. You live in a delusion. Radio shows, speed racing, and sporting goods. It's not real.
So you're a communist soldier from the Communist Army.
No, I am not a soldier. I am an ideological officer. I belong to the party, not the army.
You were trained and assigned to the Defense Corps, though.
Trained in historical materialism.
Really?
Then assigned as a political commissar by the party. These things used to mean something.
What does a political commissar do?
The old man does not answer. He tilts his silver head and looks at the reeds. You see a small tremor pass through his legs.
His job was to assure the army answers to civilian control and follows the ideology of the Commune.
Scientific communism. A commissaire politique is a night philosopher of the revolution. A future human.
Awakened from shutdown by the promise of ideology.
That means you're a trained communist, right?
He nods slowly. Then another tremor.
I have another serious question for you.
There's nothing serious in this world. It's a farce.
What have you been using this gun for?
I've used it for killing people.
Killing people?
It's a gun. That's what they're for. You want a moralist euphemism? Defending your family and your property. I haven't done that. I've used it to kill people.
Interesting. During or after the war?
There is no after the war. Class war is never over.
So he's continued killing after hostilities ended. Okay. This is it. You can feel it, like battery acid on the tip of your tongue. Something you haven't felt in a while. But
what?
this is what you live for. This is the shit. The great serotonin jackpot. The solution. Go in straight. No euphemisms. He doesn't like those. No. Be careful now. Slow and steady does it. Make him repeat it first. Don't mess this up. Remember, he wants to tell you. Get personal.
You're all telling me different things.
Mhm.
So which one do I say then?
Nothing comes to you. Silence. His black eyes look at you.
So you're saying you actively killed people after active fighting stopped?
What did I just say?
What did I just tell you? Don't drop the ball now.
Did you use that gun to shoot and kill a colonel of the security contractor Cornell?
The who now?
He heard you. He just wants to hear you say it again. This is dramatic flair on his part. Right choice. We're in. Do it, sire.
You know who I mean.
You know who I mean.
The worm there. In the monster armor. An ugly piece of work, that boy.
Did you kill him?
I am a son of a welder and an officer of the commune of Revachol. I do not collaborate with murderers and pederasts of the liberal regime.
Exhaust him with proof. Pile it all on him. Get a confession. The gun. The murder weapon is the perfect opener. The scent of blood in the air. But what else? There was something you can't remember. Something about the tracks. Suddenly, all those tracks are so confusing. Go with something else first.
We got this.
Not a lot of guns around that use military-grade ammunition, are there?
It's a real gun. Not like your musketeer pistols. You look like imbeciles. Why don't you ask them to give you real weapons? Going against automatic rifles with these toy guns. Of course you got those boys killed.
Damn, he saw you. He's watched it happen. He would have a good view of the tribunal from here. It's not just empty boasting. So he saw you. Okay. So what? Don't let it divert you.
Okay then.
Imbecile.
You've done the ballistics. The shot came from this island.
I saw you poking around there, looking for evidence. You're damn diligent when it comes to dead fascies. Did you like the view?
You had direct visibility. There are embrasures in the concrete, specifically meant for a top follower to use. And you had a long-range rifle in your possession. You've been here a long time, Mr. Dras. Too long. You clearly need medical aid.
I'm ready to die. I've done my part.
He's practically admitting to it. Dead fascists for fascists. Done his part.
You said fascies. You admitted to killing him.
You're sad for your fascia brother, aren't you? One twig got broken. Now the others are sad.
Almost. He almost burst out there. Keep piling arguments. Anything.
That's not it. What am I forgetting?
Wait, here it comes. The goddamn Maybells. The dried Maybells on Clausia's roof.
Yes.
There were Maybells in the grass when you got here. They're revolutionary symbols from the war. Nowhere else, nowhere in all of Martinez have you seen them this spring. Wait, don't forget the footprints. The diagonal prints in the dust in the secret space behind Clausia's bedroom. Now, they're gonna come up.
Of course. Thank you, Head. Thank you.
You got it. Remember? The boot prints were like no...
Wonder what
ones.
brand of boots you're wearing.
There were Maybells behind the victim's window.
Damn Maybells. The whole island is turning white with them.
He seems tender suddenly. Nostalgic even. A strange mood swing.
So many this year, too. The spring is coming. No, it's already here. Wash the filth away.
Only here have I seen him. Nowhere else in Martinez.
They blossom on the islands before we fertilize them with our blood. Resurrection was snow white in May before they ruined it. The coast, too, before they piled their containers on top of it, filled with broken, useless trash for fat-fingered bourgeois children to play with.
You must get around a lot to stay undetected all these years. Do you know any secret paths? Pinball workshops?
I may.
A young woman called Clagier. Ring any bells? These dried flowers were behind her window.
Classier.
He knows her, but hadn't heard the name.
Yes, Clagier. You hadn't heard her name, had you?
My ears don't reach the city.
You know her, right? She had intimate relations with the victim, the mercenary.
With the victim.
There is a small tremble. Looks like a smile. A crooked smile. Yet isn't quite voluntary. He's about to burst. Don't leave any loose ends. Get him on everything.
What boots are you wearing?
Everything is brands with you individualists. Who cares what brand my shoes are? Sansa? Some shit.
Show me the soles, please, Mr. Torres.
Fucking imbecile.
The maker is called Sansarique, and the size is 42 to 44. These are not the unusual horizontal patterns
They're not.
we saw in the dust on the floor of the hidden room. They do, however, seem to be about the same size.
The size fits, but not the sole.
Wait, maybe it's simpler than that.
Yeah.
Sire, he doesn't have to be wearing them right now.
Yeah, people change shoes. It doesn't mean you weren't there near the room the victim died in, sneaking around.
Racking those brains, are you? Desperate to report something back to your masters? They must have really loved that dead fuck.
The lieutenant gives you a quick sideways glance and nods to acknowledge. The prints were his. You can see it in those eyes. He can't keep them from flickering, looking for something. The old man stares at his own prints in the ash around the fire. Silence suddenly, some strange process within him. A gush of wind. Seagulls in the distance.
You know who he was. A coalition-trained murderer. Armored and armed. He wasn't human. The blunt end of a hammer. Dripping with blood.
He wasn't a rapist.
Yeah, but you can claim that. I don't know. It's just saying it.
He was a soldier, too. He was a man.
Beating us to the ground. Moaning with joy. You hounds get so thorough when a company-trained killer dies. I haven't seen you on this coast for 40 years. You know, maybe I should have killed one sooner.
There it is.
Got your attention. Now you stop beating druggies and prostitutes in your basement. Now you come to investigate. Not when they die by the hundreds.
This is it. Shot him. Shot him. Say shot him, not killed him.
So you shot him.
Oh, the inhumanity. One paramilitary less in Revachol.
The lieutenant raises his right arm to hush you. Hush. He does not need to be pushed anymore. The ball is rolling. While the lieutenant listens, holding his breath.
Hold your breath.
I had them in my sights. Both of them. Him and the whore. I was breathing with them, in phase, and I pulled the trigger and flew on the air until I landed in his mouth. I didn't think I had a shot like that in me anymore. I did. I saw him kneel there with his mouth full of death, and that stupid look on his face. And his dick still in her.
Then what?
Nothing. I went to sleep. Next morning there were Maybells everywhere. The world was white, or what's left of it anyway. My last spring here. I knew the fascists would come to avenge their own. And so they did.
Mr. Dross, are you aware you're confessing to murder?
Yes.
And you were looking at them, the victim and a young woman, having sex, through the scope of your rifle that night, before you shot him?
The old man nods.
Why?
Because that's what they were doing.
The motive. This is where the motive is going to come from. You can coax it out of him. The lieutenant's preparing the ground.
I don't understand. Do you, detective? I don't understand this part.
Why were you looking at them that night?
I'm always looking.
Are you always looking through the scope of a rifle? I'm just trying to understand.
A rifle scope has the best magnification.
And if you don't like it?
Click.
You pulled the trigger.
Yes. Think of it as a form of critique.
You got him going. Connect every little piece now. Wrap this up like a gift.
What specifically did you not like about what you saw the night of the murder?
Them fucking. I didn't like that.
So you were jealous? Was he? Oh,
Just say okay then.
okay then. No, well, I don't want to end it. Were you jealous?
Jealousy is a reactionary concept. I didn't like the Reaver enjoying himself. Drugged out, soothed in the arms of a young woman. I wanted him to die so he could not enjoy life anymore. And I wanted to see his head explode. That too. She should know better than to hold a child murderer between her thighs. I knew he'd be there for one more second, writhing. That's all it takes for the bullet to reach his head. Now that I think of it, I wasn't aiming for his mouth. I wanted his brains to spill out on her. But you can't have everything.
This man has seen past her, like you did. And now he longs to see her covered in blood, to punish her.
How long had you been watching her?
Since she came to Martinez. I saw her sneaking in the reeds early in the morning, behind the Fell building. It was dark, still winter. She didn't have a skimpy outfit on then, just a spot in the night, moving.
I've got almonds. Ooh. What?
Yeah?
Why? Why did you... Okay, it's fine.
Interesting.
It's okay. Gracias. Ahora abajo, cuando termino con esto. My dad came into the room and handed me some wasabi almonds.
Ah. Yum yum.
Sorry, we were talking about the death of a fake person.
Past the fell building on the coast. What was she doing there?
It was the passport.
Hiding something in the water. She had a fag after she'd done it. I was up in the ruins there. She couldn't see me, but I could see her, smoking. She was nervous, but not scared.
What do you think she hid there?
Her passport and tickets to Villiers. And from there to Cachet Brut.
In the free state of Seminine, hidden away at the edge of the earth, near the Pale.
This is the hidden buoy she told us about. You looked into it.
After she was gone,
Did you keep what was in it? When we found the submersible, it was empty.
no. Why would I do that? I didn't need tickets to Villiers. I put them back. If I wanted to extort someone, I'd do better.
Wait, did Ruby take them?
Could have been Ruby, could have been Moral Intern guy.
Yeah, but Moral Intern didn't... Well, I guess it could have been Moral Intern guy. I just assumed he didn't know.
He couldn't have.
Everything else was falling into place, so it just surprised me that it's not him.
This
Yeah.
implies that he's thought about extorting her. Also, a little inconsistency here. He was surprised to hear her name Clausia before. Would he not have seen it on the documents?
You saw her name
We
on
know
the
that's
passport.
not the name
Yeah.
that's on the passport.
Well, the passport is the fake passport.
I thought it had a different fake name on it.
Maybe. This isn't gonna
Her
hurt, right?
name is Catherine, her fake name that she tells people is Clausia, but the name on the passport was a third thing, I think.
Well,
Unless I'm
say her
wrong.
name on the well, it still would help if he admitted to it. He saw her name on the passport before, but when I said her name is Clausia, you didn't seem to recognize it.
It didn't say Clausia in there.
Yeah, what did it say her name was?
It was something. I don't remember. It was dark that morning.
All
I
right.
only remember her face on the photo.
Are you sure we checked the submersible? There was nothing there.
Why would I need that trash? I'm not going to Villiers.
A strange confusion comes over him from time to time. Some kind of aberration of the nervous system.
Did you continue watching her after this?
I did. She had a face like an archipelago with those birthmarks. And a body hard and lean and bruised all over. Black and yellow. I could see she's taken a beating. I could see who she was, too. A spook. On the run. Revachol's the cloaca of capital now. All the bagmen and arms dealers end up here to do drugs and have sex like animals.
You could tell she was a spook from the documents?
She had different color hair on the photo and glasses. Forged. Some sordid bourgeois affair. I've heard about this kind of thing on the radio.
He's setting it up for you. The bruises. You can't make that out in a scope.
And you could see her bruises through the scope of a rifle.
You can't see bruises through a scope. It's just a blur.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, duh, the people.
I know. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How does he know about these minute details?
Clicky.
It quickly comes to you.
The bruises on her body, any chance you've seen them through a hole in the wall?
Oh, yes. cutting those drugs of hers into little lines with a knife, masturbating
Did you make that hole?
with a clip point knife.
Good for listening in, too. For hearing the moaning and the snorts.
Ever see her through a window on a roof?
Like that, too. Yes. Bending like a bow against the glass.
You've been through the secret route between the whirling and rags. Behind the whirling and rags. Those were your footprints there. You just changed your shoes.
I've been through all of Martinez. Every nook and cranny.
And that, too.
Yes, that, too. The things they did in that little room. What she'd do to feel good. Funny the way light works. You turn it on inside, and it gets so dark out, you can't see a man looking in. I learned that in the 20s, when they were still hunting me. I've seen people do some shit, but...
Those two took the cake. You hear the familiar scribble of the lieutenant's pen. A quick glance at you. One more loose end down. We're doing this, detective.
How did you get in there? The hidden pinball workshop.
I can just walk in there now after a good wash. I told you, they think I'm an antisocial. Closing hour is a good time. The kitchen's empty.
You had to open the steel door in the kitchen? How?
I got that open a long time ago. Some bourgeois game merchant lived there. I don't know, 15 years ago. He left spare keys all over, and I took one. Then I saw her turn the light on one night in my scope.
Andy found use for it. A spare key, like the one hanging behind the Union Box window.
You wanted to punish her, so you killed him.
She practically breastfed that man. You wouldn't believe the things she let him do to her.
You stare at them too. In your mind, her innocence day still turns to leaf. Airport bag in hand. Silks flowing in her wake.
This has nothing to do with that.
It's no good, Harry. Her voice rings in the evening air. It smells of burning buildings.
Say nothing.
The old man raises his gaze. Something glimmers in the corner of his black eye. A bitter taste on his tongue.
You had feelings for that woman.
There's nothing to hold on to. Only this. It's not enough.
The coals of his eyes glisten suddenly, like stones dripping with water. Is he crying?
Man needs to feel something else. It helps if you have your eye on something there. Something pretty. It's weakness, I know.
There have been others.
Yes, over the years. It's not unproletarian to feel something.
Was that why you left the dried flowers behind her window?
No,
Why then?
I don't really know. I was there one night and she was crying, like a child, in the corner of our room on the floor, like she does sometimes.
When was this?
The day after I killed him.
And you brought her Maybells.
Yes, I don't know why I do the things I do anymore.
You wanted to console her.
Maybe. I told you, I have holes in my brain now. I wouldn't just sit here waiting for you. If you came 10 years ago, I would have killed you.
In the silence, the lieutenant draws a line in his notes, then nods at you once more. One more down.
All right. So in conclusion, it wasn't about him. It was about her.
Her.
The lieutenant nods at you in acknowledgement. That's it. Motive. We have it.
Where is she? That Clasier. I haven't seen her there for days.
Safe and sound, sire. Surely you have not misplaced the witness.
I'm not at liberty to say.
I know she's gone. Locked up or on the run. She kept staring into the scope, you know. In the end, this last week, at the fort. Like she knew I was here. It doesn't matter.
Across the water, on a dilapidated jetty in a nameless village, made of grey cinder block houses with Eternite roofs, 2 police officers and 1 special consultant look across a narrow strip of sea. He's there, doing what exactly, I don't know. Satellite Officer Vic Mayer points at the ruins. Behind that anti-aircraft something. That's why we can't see him. Special Consultant Heidelstein is optimistic. We'll see the boat when he comes. Let's go get a coffee until then. I know this interesting little place. Where? His voice trails off as the 3 walk down the jetty. As the men go, Patrol Officer Minnow looks back over her shoulder at the crumbling fortification like a rotten tooth rising out of the water. Good luck, Harry, she thinks. You need something good for this.
We could get more. We've got him talking.
Who knows what he's seen and done over the years? You could get more out of him. He likes talking.
Do we want to end this episode here?
Do we?
I think this is just going to spiral into the next, you know what I mean?
Oh, probably.
And its episodes have already been going for more than an hour. I probably should have ended it just a little bit ago.
Maybe.
This series is already a mess pacing-wise. Well, in summary and submission, the moral of the story is...